Rules around broadcast media and minors. Protecting minors from harmful content. Presentation overview. Introduction to broadcast media and minors. An introduction to broadcast media and minors, including an overview of how minors interact with broadcast media and the potential risks involved. Regulations around broadcast media and minors in different countries. A discussion of the regulations around broadcast media and minors in different countries, including how different countries approach the issue of minors and harmful content. Best practices for media and minors. Discussion of best practices for media and minors, focusing on how to protect minors from harmful content and educate them on media literacy. Introduction to broadcast media and minors. What is broadcast media? Broadcast media refers to television, radio, and other forms of media that are transmitted over the airwaves. It is an important source of news, entertainment, and information for people around the world. Who are minors? Minors are individuals who are under the age of 18. They are considered vulnerable and in need of special protection, particularly when it comes to exposure to potentially harmful content in broadcast media. Regulating broadcast media and minors. It is important to regulate broadcast media and minors to ensure that minors are protected from harmful content and that the public is informed about potential risks associated with certain forms of broadcast media. Regulations may include time restrictions, content warnings, and age verification requirements. Overview of broadcast media. Broadcast media refers to the distribution of audio and video content over the airwaves, including radio, television, and other media distributed through broadcasting networks. Explanation of minors. Minors are individuals who are under the age of 18 and are considered vulnerable and in need of protection from harmful content. Regulations around broadcast media and minors. Regulations in the US. The US has strict regulations around broadcast media and minors, such as the Children's Television Act and the Communications Decency Act. These laws aim to protect minors from harmful content and regulate advertising. Regulations in other countries. Other countries have their own regulations around broadcast media and minors, such as the UK's Ofcom and Canada's Broadcasting Act. These laws aim to regulate content and protect minors from harmful or inappropriate material. Current regulations in the US. The Federal Communications Commission, FCC, has put in place strict regulations to protect minors from harmful content. These regulations include restrictions on the amount of violence and sexual content that can be shown on broadcast media during certain hours. Regulations in other countries. The UK has strict rules around advertising to children and requires broadcasters to provide age ratings for certain content to protect minors from harmful content. Best practices for media and minors. Age ratings. Age ratings are a simple and effective way to inform parents and guardians about the appropriate level of maturity required for media content. They can be used for TV shows, movies, video games, and more. Parental controls. Parental controls allow parents and guardians to restrict access to certain types of media content. They can be used for TV channels, streaming services, video games, and more. Media literacy. Media literacy is the ability to access, analyze, evaluate, and create media content. Educating minors on media literacy can help them understand the impact of media content on their lives and make informed decisions. Protecting minors from harmful content. Age ratings. Age ratings are an important tool for protecting minors from harmful content. They provide parents and caregivers with a guide to the appropriateness of media content for children based on their age and maturity. Parental controls. Parental controls are a set of tools that allow parents to manage their children's access to media content. They can be used to restrict access to inappropriate content and to set time limits for media use. Educating minors on media literacy. Educating minors on media literacy is essential in today's digital age. This involves teaching them how to interpret and analyze media content critically and helping them develop critical thinking skills that will enable them to make informed decisions. Conclusion. The rules around broadcast media and minors are complex and varied. Broadcasters must follow best practices and regulations to protect minors from harmful content and help them become media literate. Thank you.